conclude from this weather is Chris Bell, who's from WeatherQuest and associated with University of East Anglia, joins us now live from Norwich. Thanks so much indeed for joining us, Chris Bell. What do we make of this weather system that came over Cumbria and parts of southern Scotland in the last few days?
Well, obviously it was quite a historic event, almost the perfect storm in a sense, in the way that the jet stream pushed all this moisture across us. So we saw the winds generating from the southern part of the North Atlantic, and they moved pretty much straight northeastward into Cumbria, and along with the hills and the higher ground across Cumbria and southwestern Scotland, we saw all the rain and warm and moist air that was generated down in the southern part of the Atlantic being rained out across the area. And so with nothing to stop that, it just rained constantly for about 24 to 36 hours, and that is quite historic in terms of the weather setup that generated it.
Well, certainly the Environment Ministry is saying 1 in 1,000 kind of, as you say, perfect storm. But people are always talking about the weather now with the background of climate change and concerns that the climate of our island is shifting or changing. Are you seeing any potential for that to start happening?
Well, I think one thing that needs to be said about that is that if the globe is indeed warming, we do know that the atmosphere, warmer air has more of an ability to hold moisture. So the warmer the atmosphere is, the more water the atmosphere can hold. So you would conclude that if in 50 years' time the atmosphere was warmer generally across the globe, there is more potential for heavy rain events just for the simple fact that the atmosphere can hold that much more water.
And that has implications, of course, for our infrastructure. We've heard that 1,800 bridges in Cumbria alone are going to be checked as a matter of caution more than an emergency. But nevertheless, most of these bridges were built over 100 years ago. Do you think we're going to, down the line, start facing changes to our infrastructure that's going to cost a lot of money?
Yeah, I think that, it is, quite likely that we're going to need to review all of those type of things, just for the simple fact that we've now seen this happen, and you need to prepare for the worst generally. And if indeed, like I said, the globe is warming up, then we can expect, the potential for a few more of these events in the future. It may not be to the level that we saw it a couple of days ago, but still there is the potential for some heavy rain events at times, over the next 50 years.
Exactly, I was going to say, in the next 50 years. So you think down the line another perfect storm could build up and perhaps in a different part of the country unleash the same kind of damage that this one has?
Yeah, there's nothing to say that just because this happened this year, and the record rainfall event that we saw for England happened previously in 1955, so that was about 50 years ago or so. There's nothing to say that we're not going to see something in that range at least in the next 50 years. So it's probably best to be prepared for it.
Okay, Chris Bell, thanks very much indeed for joining us there from WeatherQuest. Well, back here in Coppermouth, of course.